You'll probably hear Rosie barking in the background, just for warning you. Now, I really wanted to talk about the fear of change, because whenever we have changes going on in our life, or we have a desire to change, sometimes the fear that comes up with us is enough to actually prevent us from taking that leap of faith. And sometimes it is a leap of faith that we need to take. So the change that you're looking to make could be around your job, it could be around a relationship, it could be around some sort of life transition. Regardless of what it is, sometimes we really need to trust our own judgment and actually back ourselves. You know, we need to sort of put a bet on ourselves and trust ourselves that we are making the best decision and that it is going to work out for the best. Stepping into the unknown is a really challenging thing to do, because we never really know for certain exactly how things are going to work out. Now, I know that that's a bit comical. I'm a psychic medium. So if this is your first time coming across me, I'm a psychic medium and life coach. And I think that people think, oh, well, because you're tuned into this energy and you get information, then you automatically know if things are going to work out or not. And that's not the case. We're supposed to be living a human life. We're supposed to be living a human existence. And that means dealing with the uncertainties. That means dealing with the, I don't know what's going to happen here. Is this a good move? Is this not a good move? And that's where we really need to trust our intuition. That's where our gut instinct is going to really come into play and save us. Sometimes in life, we will have decisions to make that logically on paper make the most sense, but just something feels off. Likewise, there will be decisions in life that we will come across that feel logically like, oh, you know, it would be stupid to do this. Well, Gemma, it's stupid to leave your corporate career and pursue a life as a life coach and a psychic medium, or it's foolish to leave this job to go to something else, even though you're hating it and you're crying every morning going into work. Oh, well, it's foolish to think that that would work out whenever you've never done that before. Or, you know, it's foolish to get married the second time that you meet a person. And actually, there are loads of success stories from people that have done those things and that it has worked out. For me, I threw my corporate career in the bin, threw it in the trash, and I pursued something different. And logically, everybody around me was telling me, Gemma, don't do it. This is nonsense. Why would you do this? How are you going to make a living? This is not the right decision to make. But the reality of it was that my intuition told me to. My intuition was really screaming to me that this felt right. It felt like the right decision. Likewise, I was actually thinking about this recently. I've been in the position where I have left jobs, and maybe hasn't always been the right decision at the time to leave the position, but I've always had the faith that the universe had my back. I've always had it in my head that actually I'll be okay. I leave one job and I walk into a new one. You know, I've always had that mindset. Whenever we realize that actually like attracts like, it really amplifies to us the fact that if we believe it, it is more likely to come to us. So it's really important that we take solace in trusting our own judgment and trusting the universe. You know, trust yourself that you can make the correct decision, which I want to go back on to in a second. But trust the universe. Trust that if you put your positive thoughts out there and if you have faith that it's going to work, that it will work. And that actually, if it doesn't work, you'll get caught in a net. You'll be safe. It won't be, you know, terrible for you to have to go through that ordeal. The universe has your back. Now, whenever we think about how we actually feel and how we start to trust our intuition, the fear whenever we're making changes is enough to prevent us from actually making a move in the first place. Whenever we feel that fear coming up, it can be easy to actually think that that's your intuition. It's not always easy to think that actually that is talking to me, that's telling me not to do it, this is a bad idea, because sometimes fear will scream really loudly at us. Fear wants to keep us safe. It wants to keep us in something familiar. It wants to keep us sometimes in a familiar hell. Familiarity doesn't always mean contentment. You could be in a position, and I know I'm talking about work, it doesn't have to be in work, but you could be in a work position. You could be in a relationship. You could be in a situation that is absolutely torturous for you. But the thoughts of change invokes a sense of fear because you don't know what is on the other side of that. Is it going to be a case of out of the frying pan into the fire? And I can remember years ago, my grandmother used to always say to me, better the devil you know. And I never actually really understood what she meant until I was older. She used to say to me, the grass isn't always greener, which I understood, I knew. But to me, I always thought, but the grass might be greener, and that was 10, 11, 12-year-old me. The grass might be greener. What if things are better? We think to ourselves, well, we know what this is, we know it's horrible, but actually we know that. We're safe within that because we know how bad it is. But actually, whenever we drop things and we take that chance and we venture out, it starts to help us realize that actually things could be okay. Things could be better than okay. And whenever I did a live this morning, I was really iterating to people that life is supposed to be enjoyed. It's not supposed to be endured. That's one of the big messages that I get through from my spirit guides constantly. Life is supposed to be enjoyed. We all have the right to enjoy life. So if you're experiencing things in life at the moment that it's basically grinding you down, you're not satisfied, if you're waking up in the morning and you're thinking to yourself, not another day of this, something has to change. Something has to change because that's not what life is about. It's not supposed to be an endurance. It's not supposed to be something that you just put up with. Even my ex-husband used to always say to me, Gemma, 70% of people don't enjoy their jobs. I was going through a spell at the time where I wasn't really enjoying my work, and I'd always enjoyed my work. I'd always really had a lot of passion about my career. But to me, just because it's accepted that we don't enjoy it or that so many people don't enjoy it, to me, it just wasn't right. We should be enjoying work. Just because we accept that, 70% of people don't enjoy what they do for a living, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be enjoying what we do for a living. This life is supposed to be here for us to really find enjoyment. It's supposed to be there for us to really thrive. We're supposed to have a sense of purpose. We're supposed to be fulfilled. And yes, that won't be every day. We all have off days. Some days we will not want to get up out of the covers. That is just the ups and downs of life. But for the vast majority of our existence, we are supposed to be feeling really passionate about what we're doing. We're supposed to have a sense of fulfillment. So if you're in a space in life where you don't have that, then I would really encourage you to sort of reevaluate that and to try and identify what would need to change in order for you to feel that level of fulfillment. Now, if you're at a stage where you are looking to make a change and that fear keeps coming up within you, I want you to take this opportunity to just sit back with me, take a few deep breaths, and I want you to really feel into your intuition, okay? So feel free to close your eyes if you want to close your eyes. And we'll just take a few deep breaths in through the nose and hold that for a few seconds and just let that come out through the mouth. And do it again. Another big deep breath in. And hold it for a few seconds and then breathe out through your mouth. And first of all, I want you to visualize a bright white light that surrounds you. This is a light of protection. So regardless of whether you refer to God, Source, Universe, angels, visualize this light around you. This is a light that is here to protect you. Regardless of what happens, regardless of what choices you make, you are fully supported. And just let that light really soothe your nervous system and wash away any anxieties. Now, ask yourself the question of this change that you're looking to take. Whether it's your job or a relationship change, just ask for this higher power to help you tune into your intuition. Help you learn to distinguish between what your intuition is telling you versus what is fear-based. And just lean into that energy. Fear and anxiety will come in screaming. It will have us thinking, well, what if it all fails? What if everything goes to pot? What if the grass isn't greener? What if? And we'll be thinking of all of the negative scenarios. What our intuition will bring us is a sense of peace. Our intuition will give us this sense of peace. If something is uneasy, you will feel it. So it pays to really tune into that energy and learn to distinguish between the two. Because your intuition will have you feeling so at peace if this is the right decision for you. And it's a really useful exercise to lean into. So just whenever you're ready, you can just open your eyes again. And that's just a really useful visualization that you can use on an ongoing basis that will help you to just start and tune into that intuition a little bit more. And it's quite natural, I think, regardless of what transition we're trying to make in life, that those little fears will creep up. But if you're feeling really uncomfortable, if you're feeling that it's not the right time, that something's wrong, something's off, then maybe it's not the right time. Maybe something else does need to happen. Maybe there's a divine timing element to it. But if you feel at peace with just this occasional little, oh, what if this, what if that coming up to the surface, that is the feeling that you need to hold on to. That feeling of peace. That is your internal satellite navigation system, your intuition. And it's that is going to help keep you on the right path. So I really hope that has helped you. If you're interested in more content from me, definitely subscribe. You can follow me. I'm over on TikTok and Instagram as well. And you can also check in on my podcast, which is Ask Gemma, and it's released every Thursday.